Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning,
Dewald.
Morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. We had a brief conversation yesterday, and I asked, listen, would you guys please come and join us? So please introduce yourselves.
Do you struggle to get beautiful photographs of fresh produce? Visit our stock site. We've got gorgeous photographs of all kinds of fresh produce.
Yeah. All right, Dewald. So my name is Bahle and Kweba. I'm here in the Eastern Cape. I'm originally from East London. I actually currently work at SRCC now in the Sundays River, and I'm an agronomist where I help the growers with the technical support, all the SRCC growers. I'm also affiliated with an organization called the Gamvaletu, which is a BE entity of SRCC. It's a transformation project. And yeah, so I'm also a director at Gamvaletu, and being an SRCC employee, I'm aligned I'm also a beneficiary of that entity.
And it is a fantastic project where I met you last year. Louise has previously met you, and it was an incredible project to see.
Yeah, no, really, Dewald. I think we obviously, when we are busy with the project, we don't realize the magnitude of the project, Louise. Yeah. And I think we're starting to see it now that it's actually bigger than we thought, you know.
And as you said yesterday, it's like now people come up to you and after the video played, and that's when you realize that you're busy with something bigger than what you thought.
Than what we thought, definitely. It's made me obvious. The video obviously made me famous.
we must get your signature before we have to pay for it.
Yeah, so that's my story.
And you, please introduce yourself.
I'm Siphokuhle Nohamba. I'm from Eastern Cape Midlands. I'm a son of a citrus farmer. My late dad, Eric Nohamba, was a citrus farmer there. He benefited from the former Sky government. So my passion and love for citrus was crafted there. So I pursued studies in agricultural economics at the University of Fort Hare. Then I went to Free State University to do my honors and masters. Then 2020, 2021, I've joined the Blue Train. SRCC company as a technical advisor, agronomy department. Bahle here is my colleague. I think his office is literally next to mine. We exchanged some information very quick, and sometimes we clash.
That always happens.
You always pull me out of my comfort zone. I think I've grown having him in the organization. He grew me, and I see the potential and the value to have such a colleague together with my boss, Dewald. I mean, he's a beast. I mean, he knows the technical know-hows. We've been farming from indigo. They are coming with those complex farming system from indigo, Western Cape. So we learning a lot from the team, and we are building a very powerful team. That's my story. Wow. That's my background.
So you grew up on a citrus farm. What was your upbringing? Where did you grow up?
So I actually grew up in East London, in Cambridge. Okay. Yeah, so I was much of a city boy, but I mean, we had also roots in the Transkei, up in Nohamba, and I got a bit of a farming background with my grandfather there, and obviously then being in the city and going for holidays in the Transkei to the small mealie farms. And then I got a love for agriculture in the beginning, and you know, when you start coming out of high school, you're not sure what you want to do. I thought, let me take a chance. I mean, I initially wanted to become a mealie farmer, and here I am in the Sundays River advising citrus growers.
Look, we get around in the agriculture. We just happen to do most of our work in the fresh produce sector. But if you go to any city, doesn't matter if it's Cape Town, Joburg, Durban, wherever, and you say to any young person, agriculture, you just mention, if you ask him, what do you think if you hear the word agriculture? They will say an old woman sitting on the back of his bakkie with his sheepdog in a karoo.
Yeah, true.
Wearing two-tone shirts and fellies.
Yeah.
That's the immediate picture you get.
Yeah.
Or that somebody would give. So, But it's not that. Agriculture is not that in South Africa.
No, definitely not.
So when you, as a city boy, okay, you helped your grandfather with his millies.
Yeah.
But what happened the first time that when you actually saw what this machine is that you are wanting to go in?
I think so I was doing my second year, and the opportunity I got to meet Candice Bergen with the Citrus Academy, and I got a bursary through them. I actually applied just because I had better marks in that, and wasn't sure what this academy does, but I saw the bursary was looking after a lot of the other students, and I applied for it. So I had the opportunity, I think, to step on a citrus farm when I was doing my second year, and I got to see the bigger picture. I mean, I remember going to the Sundays River, driving from Port Elizabeth. I mean, I didn't have an idea that actually oranges grow in trees, I always tell people this, and I was traveling with Candice, and for the first time I stepped in and I realized that, man, I might be in the right direction here. And I mean, farming is not just sitting at the back of a tractor, plowing millies out in Elliot. It's actually, there's much more to this. And I mean, when I started driving into Sundays River, I saw a lemon orchard, and I started to be so intrigued, and I would like to know how this happens. I would like to know, how do these people pick, and it was in the middle of the season, I remember, they picked the fruit off, and then I'm thinking, how do you get the crop back onto these trees now?
Yeah,
and that's when my coming to the citrus industry now. That's when I started being so interested in trying to understand the dynamics of this industry, and I got to see that actually farming is not just farming; it's actually a business.
Yes,
I got to see that people make a living out of this. There's job opportunities when it comes to farming, and then I think luckily then through the Citrus Academy I got I think I was doing my second year again, and I had to do in-service training. And the Citrus Academy allocated me to SRCC back then, and got a working opportunity to come as an intern. It was in the season, and I got to see, okay, there's pack lines. This fruit gets packed, it actually gets exported. And I'm thinking, so the image I first saw was them picking into a bag. Now I'm in a pack house. Yeah. And there's packing lines. It gets put in boxes, and cartons, and then from cartons it goes into containers, and then just the value chain, and that's how my mind then shifted from being a city boy in East London and Cambridge to being a much more rural kind of guy, I mean, I think if I look at myself now, if I drive to Joburg, I get so nerve-wracked because I'm used to 3 donkey carts in Adder, and there's traffic.
And the odd elephant.
Amazing.
So, yeah, that's from my side.
And you, did your father expect you to go into the farming area after school?
Yes, but he was a big believer in education. He was like, you need to invest in knowledge first. Go there, be yourself, tailor-made yourself, and see. He never narrowed me to focus on his business, that I need to come back to my business. He didn't make his business as a part of my burden. He was like, be yourself, showcase your skills, take every opportunity that is there for you, grow. Then you will find out from yourself what you want to do.
Yes.
So he never narrowed me to focus in his business, but with the hope that I will go back to his business and grow it. But we have challenges that are there, but we're striving. We're trying to make his legacy lives forever, because he served the industry like. He sat on the board of directors, CGTC. He sat on the RBX, River Bioscience. He was a board member there. For a decade, he served the industry. So he's recognized by the industry. So it will be injustice for me to not serve his legacy. So my objective now is to carry his legacy and grow it.
Wow. Okay, so
it's very admirable that you are carrying his legacy. And who is running your farm now?
Currently, Louise, it's my twin sister. My twin sister, he did his honors degree now he finished his honors degree in agricultural extension at the University of Fort Hare. But when before my father passed away, he was running the show with my father, along with my father. She was with my father in every step of the way. So I saw that she's capable of this. Bringing in question the economies of scale. Is this big enough for us? I said, let's do a structure. Let me put you into the sport now. You need to farm. I'll provide the oversight. I'll provide the technical know-how because my role at SRCC it's grooming me. I'm learning about the ins and outs of the citrus, from the fertilizer, from pest control, from to pruning, fruit set strategies. I mean, I think I'm there in terms of the technical know-how of citrus.
Do you still have a dream of going back to the farm one day?
Yes, of course, Dewald. Yes, of course. I want to be. I always wanted to be a citrus farmer. That's my life. I call citrus my destiny. So that's where I want to see myself. But in terms of the issue, I want to expand before I go there, so that it can be viable for the family and also for my siblings.
Yes,
we can't eat in a small pot.
Yes.
All of us. It's not viable.
You can't.
Yes, that's very, very realistic. And as you say, your colleague, he takes you right out of your comfort zone, and you're learning a lot all the time. And they say nothing grows in a comfort zone. So if he's prodding you to learn more and to find out more, it's all good for the future, if that is your plan for the future.
Yes, Louise, of course.
Definitely.
So, when I spoke to you guys yesterday afternoon, I had an idea. And my idea was to tell the story from two young, successful black men in the agriculture industry. Let's put citrus aside. Let's talk about agriculture. How is it on the ground? Because, like I said, Kari Skuman, which I know, I'm pretty sure you guys also know who Kari Skuman is. He said to us in a previous podcast that you had the old South Africa, you had the new South Africa, but now we've got the real South Africa. Mm-hmm. And from my side, I'm 43 years old now, in a month or so, and you guys are mid-30s. We all grew up in the new South Africa. I got very little. I was like 5-6 years old. I was in grade 6. I was 12 years old, 1994, when the governments changed over. So you don't remember a lot before that of what it was. You just know what your parents and their friends talked and all that kind of stuff. And
as you do, probably what your parents experienced.
Definitely.
So my recognition of the old South Africa is I can't even comment on it really. And you guys have grown up. If you're 35, you were born 94.
1990.
1990.
Yeah.
Yes, and you were
1993.
1993. So by the time this all came to fruition, you can't remember much from when you were 3 years old.
No, definitely.
So how is it? Because when we walk into a conference like this, there's a mixture of people from all over. And I've not once seen anybody being animostic to anybody out there. So please tell us from your side, how is agriculture in South Africa really?
Yeah. No, I think from my side, Dewald, I mean, if I think of it, I mean, I farmed in the Western Cape, which is people see it as a predominantly white farmed society. And I was staying in Ashton, actually working as a farm manager for Indigo. And I think the opportunity that I had got there and the diversity that was there, it was solely dependent on myself. But I mean, I could not in any way any fault anyone else that says, okay, now Bahle, you've arrived here as a black farm manager, and now we should feel sorry for you and all those kind of things. So I mean, if I look at, I used to attend a lot of the technical meetings. There were study groups there, and some of it I was probably the only black person in those meetings, but there's not a single day that I felt out of place, because I feel that this agriculture at this stage, it's what you bring to the table. It's gone beyond the skin color, in my opinion. It's gone beyond now saying that if I enter this room, Dewald will have a better advantage than myself as agriculture managers, you know. So my own personal experience, I mean, so I'm taking it back to the Western Cape. It was about what came out of my mouth. What am I bringing to the table? How can I add value? And I think that's what agriculture, in my own opinion, at this stage is that if in the Sundays River right now, we're advising all the farmers. Predominantly SRCC farmers is actually white Afrikaners. But I mean, we come as advisors, and it's not about now, okay, I'm not going to listen to you, Bahle, because the old South Africa says I shouldn't. It's about relationship building. So I mean, our main purpose as agronomists, what Kweba and myself always talk about, is that 60% of our job is to build a relationship.
Yes.
You build trust, you know, and if you enter that space with the mindset that you are white or black, I think you're already 10 steps
back.
behind.
Yeah.
You know, so in my opinion, is that that's how I approach this. I enter myself as an individual. I want to if I enter your farm, I want to add value. And I think I've been very well received. With that approach, I've been very, very well received from all the growers, even the black growers. I mean, it's very difficult when you enter, if I look at Mama Steri in the Sundays River, I mean, as a youngster, to come and tell her what she's doing on the farm, maybe she's doing it the wrong way. It's not because now I'm now a black individual that she must listen to me because I'm like her. I need to put my facts on the table and I need to add value and show her that, okay, the reason why I've come to your farm, and if 1, 2, or 3 needs to be done this way, so that you can have a better yield and better crops. So it's about uplifting yourself first. Be comfortable with yourself, and then as you enter the industry, is that, or even agriculture on its own, you're not gonna want people to feel sorry for you, you know.
Yeah.
And I think one of those is, I fully agree with you. I mean, I don't have any testaments of apartheid, you know. I mean, I lived in Cambridge. I think, and I can't attest, and unfortunately, I didn't really live that, and I fully understand those that did live apartheid, and maybe it was one of the worst things for them. But I mean, it's years down the line now. It's about me, Kuhle, all the other guys coming into the industry. Let's prove ourselves. Let's add value. You know, so that's my experience with this whole transformation in Indaba.
I guess my colleague took the whole pie. Yes, he took the whole pie. I was like, when he was expressing himself, he's taking my points now. He's taking my points now. So, I mean, we have homogeneous type of experience. Like you've mentioned now, like when I joined SRCC. I was interviewed by the former ex-chief there, Andre Combrick. I couldn't understand what did he see in me. I couldn't understand that time when he interviewed me. He was like, "No, I think I could work with you." I couldn't understand. I'm coming back. I'm coming from former Siskai, the Eastern Cape Midlands. I mean, the level of farming there compared to Ado. I mean, Ado, it's a lemon country. We barely have lemons there because of different climatic conditions, and we're farming with multiple cultivars in Ado. So I've learned how
big.
to. Yes, it's big. I've learned how to farm.
It's citrus farming on another scale.
Yeah, it's another scale. I mean, I learned how to farm mandarins, 2 pH lemons, your oris, it's quite complex. Even the disease and pests that I need to deal with, they are not homogeneous. I mean, it was my first time to see Alternaria brown rot in Ado. We don't have mandarins because of the weather conditions. But as Bahle has articulated now, everything starts with you. You must change your mindset. You must change your behavior. you must make sure that you align yourself in inclusivity. How are you adding value in this organization? What needs to be done? Relationship building, is the fundamental, because the trust will come out of that relationship building. Then the technical conversation comes after that, because someone needs to trust what you're saying. Who is this guy? What does he know? I mean, I've been farming for more than 30 years. Where is he coming from? Does he know what he's talking about?
Yes.
So you need to build trust with those people, and showcase your skills. The results will be on the outcome and output. They say the proof is in the pudding. So the outcome, once you have the outcome, then you will sail along with them. So we've been received quite well. Like Bahle just said now, Sunnis River Valley is the Boere area. It's typically Boere is there. So you become nervous when you are amongst them. But if you know what you're doing,
it's the same for us if we go into the Transkei. It's exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a new environment. It's a predominantly black environment. So if a white person goes in there, it's understandable that they would get nervous, especially if they've got to start dealing. They don't know the cultures, the ways of how to.
You don't understand the language.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of language, I take it when I moved to the Western Cape, I couldn't speak Afrikaans. But if I was then saying, I'm Bahle, everyone needs to feel sorry for me, they must make it work, and I could have kept the English. But I told myself that I'm working with 80% colored employees on the farm. They can barely hear me talk. I sat in the evenings and I actually read Afrikaans books, and in a space of a year, it changed my interaction with the farmers.
I can imagine
my interaction with the employees, and it goes back to what you're saying about the language, and it goes back to agriculture on its own. It's about yourself, and you need to understand the importance and why are you there? Are you there to add value, or are you there for people to feel sorry for you? And I think that's the kind of conversation we need to have with young black kids that are in university at this stage. Is that when you enter the industry, what do you want to go do there? Are you just there for a job? Or are you actually just there because you see now that citrus has got so much issues that you're reading up in the story? Kids in the university nowadays are so exposed to all the other information. We first heard of CBS as we employed, but I'm sure they know about citrus black spot at university level already. So they already understand those things. So, and as for those phytosanitary issues, so from their side is that I want to join citrus, and I want to come and add value and see what I can do from my side to make the situation better. And that's when they will be able to fully understand that you enter the space, not because now everyone needs to feel sorry for you. And I always used to say when I was working at Indigo that, yes, we understand that we do need to look at predominantly black managers on the farm, but we're not going to, on Sunday, he might answer for the sake of it because he's black. Yeah. He needs to bring knowledge to the table, and that should be our fundamental objective.
I've always said that the best person for the job must do the job.
Yes.
But I don't care if the Springbok team is they could be 23 Nigerian players. If they beat the All Blacks, I'm happy.
I have a question, and I think we are talking here about multiculturalism, but something which I think might be quite interesting to hear your take on. You two are both young, qualified, experienced people arriving in the industry. When you, as youngsters, arrive on the farms of older black farmers, okay, so my question is, when you go to older people that have been farming for a long time, and they have practical knowledge that they've learned on the farm.
Is it older black people? Or?
Older black people. This is a specific question to going to people of your parents' age or kind of older who have the practical on the farm knowledge, but they don't have the book university knowledge that you have. And you arrive and you have to advise them.
And there's a big thing in the black culture with respect to elders.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So tell us about that.
I can reflect. I can reflect on that. I can use my dad as an example there. I've came when I was coming back from holidays. When we close at work, I always come and have a chat with him, and try to check where is he sitting with his crop and all that stuff. He never have big faith in me. Like I was like, this is so ironic because here I'm advising white commercial farmers. This is my dad. You must be my fan. we used to bump heads. It's like, nah, I think I've done this way. It's working for me. Why do you want me to change it? It's been working. I said, but change is better. I mean, your crop strategy needs to change now. I mean, what can we do now to better your crop?
Yeah.
I mean, we must look at the issues of Gatling, double jib. Do you do those things? I must come back and do that. Crop manipulation strategies. Like if you have size issues in your clementines, what do you do? Do you thin them out? Do you use the auxins? I mean your auxins to thin the fruit? Nah, I don't have to. I mean the fruit that is small, I sell to hawkers. I said, nah, man, that's you can't farm like that because you need to hit a certain export standard, certain size. We can do this crop manipulation strategy with me, but he was so reluctant in taking my advice. It was so ironic. But
with your father, could you, let's say he goes away, you do a row, you just do a row, and then you will see a difference in that.
I remember the day he went for the Lobola negotiation for my other cousins. He had an issue with Millibug there. Sooty malt was everywhere. Then I had to go to. Fortunately, he assigned me to buy some chemicals. So I went to the co-op. I bought the chemicals that I know that works. I've addressed that issue. He came back from the Lobola negotiation. I think it was on the weekend. So I went to the farm on weekend. Then I've sprayed myself. The issue of the millibug issue. Then he came back Wednesday. Something changed here. What happened? I said I was here Saturday. I sprayed this and that and that. You see, there's no millibug, no sooty mold. How did you do it? Then I engaged him. That's where we click. When he saw that result,
yes.
He was like, "Yeah, this bugger knows something." Then we got along. Then
exactly.
Everything he was asking me, he started to ask me, but he never received me like that. He's coming from white commercial farmer. He's doing this. No. It was like, no. Stay there. This is my farm.
I can just imagine. And, and the joke is, as you say, he sent you to study.
Yeah.
And then when you come back with the knowledge, nah.
I've been doing this way. It's been working for me.
But it's not just a problem for young black people. It's also
that's
white
universal.
people.
But I want to ask you.
If
you mentioned Mama Steri. I know her.
Yeah.
And she's very. She knows her stuff, and she's an older lady. And people like her when you go to them as a young guy with the knowledge that you have, and you need to build a relationship with him. It must take some doing in the beginning.
No, I think Louise, definitely. I mean, not just. I think the question you've actually asked is a factor, not just with Mama Sira. I mean, if I think of it, especially with the most of the black farmers have got these BE entities, and then the idea is that should anyone have a bit of influence or working on the farm, there's an opportunity of you becoming a trustee. Now, the issue is that now you enter that space on an advisory basis, and you get so involved with the business, and the reluctance comes because now everyone's thinking that you have come and stepped, maybe you want a piece of the pie. And so the first thing is to try and actually convince that part that I'm just here on an advisory basis. I'm not here to join the business. I'm not here to be a beneficiary of the business. I come from for example, in my situation, I come from an SRCC perspective. I'm here to help advise. So that's the first step of it, is that to try and convince them to understand that.
And then there's the, okay, now we'll talk to you.
Now we can talk to Bahle. Is that part is out the way. And then I think secondly, what Dewald actually mentioned to Kirsten, the important part is maybe just doing asking them to do a bit of trials. I mean, a lot of the farmers, obviously, they say their farms are not trial farms, but it's just asking a row or two at a small scale to try and just prove the point. So, I mean, for example, with Mama Siri now, luckily I've had the opportunity. I've met her when I was still a young student. So she's been seeing me through the ropes. And so, I mean, when I came back from the Western Cape, I got such great acceptance from her. She actually wanted me to join the team at some stage. But I mean, it's about continuous relationship building and respect, I guess. I mean, sorry. Respect plays a huge part, and it is to understand that young black farmers, unfortunately, as commercial as they will be, but the part that there will always be your mama still is there. It's still there. The part that will always be your tata still there. So you kind of have to wear a different cap. Where I come to a farm where Dewald is the farm manager. He's in his 60s and he doesn't mind if I call him Dewald in the farm, and then I step into Mama Steri's farm. It's a different dynamic. So it's just to understand that you are working with one of your own. And I mean, for us, especially us Xhosas, we are very heavy on respect. You know, so it actually starts with your older brothers. You start to call them booties. After they go to the bush, when they come back, you don't call them by the name anymore. It's to install that idea of that you must respect your elders. So for us now, working with the black growers, and it's the respect part. And then you just try and slowly, gradually prove your point to them, you know. And I think it's baby steps. You can't enter someone's farm and expect it to change it in a day. The reluctance will be there. So it's to be honest with yourself and understand the reluctance will be there. But it's not about my ego now. It's about the farm, bettering the farm, and just to make them understand that we can take this farm to the next level.
Okay. Younger than you guys that's on the farms, or that is coming out of university, or do the two of you, for instance, because you're in front of us, demand that same respect from them?
You know, so when I was farm managing at Indigo in the Western Cape, I used to have a lot of these young students coming for internships and stuff. So one of the biggest things I used to always install in them when they enter the farm is that there's a difference between I'm not your booty, I'm your manager. All right, and I think it's my objective is that we need to understand Mama Steri's and them, the older generation. We need to now try and commercialize our mindsets, get ourselves to a better level, you know. Because I mean, it's a different environment. A work environment and the home environment is not the same. But I mean, we need to understand that the current farm owners who are black come from an older generation. So for myself, if I meet a young intern in the work environment, I don't mind. I say to them, please, I am Bahle here, I am your colleague, and we are here to work together. So, and just to understand, let them understand that part. I mean, I think interestingly, speaking of this, I mean, we had an interview with one of the interns at Indigo, and in our culture, looking at your eyes is perceived as disrespect.
Okay.
So you must look down, and then you talk to you. But now in the commercial culture is that
he's hiding something.
He's hiding something. And we actually, I actually had to now explain to the panel that this young intern is not hiding something. She's merely respecting us actually by the fact that she's looking down. And it's just those kind of things that we need to let the young kids understand that it's a commercial environment. When I speak to my mother at home, I'll definitely look down. When I speak to you guys in the commercial environment, I'll look you straight in the eyes, you know. So it's just those kind of dynamics that play a part.
That's very important.
Definitely.
And it's very important to that kind of to socialize people to understand that both ways. The youngsters to understand about the commercial situation.
Yes.
And the other way, if somebody came to me for a job interview and they sat like this the whole time, I would think either they're incredibly shy or they're scared that we might see their face from police file.
Yes, but
So this is a cultural thing that one has to cross, and it's very important that you mention that and that you do that. Do you have an answer to Dewald's question?
yes, of course. Dewald, respect, old, young. Respect is a perfect mechanism for you to see the same objective. If I go to a younger farmer now, going there with the perception that I will bully him, is younger than me, we're not going to get to the objective. Respect. I must respect him for being there. I must respect the fact that I'm there to add value. I'm there to build a relationship with him. Then we see things eye to eye. Respect goes a long way, young or old. So I think that's a beautiful mechanism. It's respect more than anything.
Wow. So to change the thing a little bit, when you hear these politicians say these things on the TV and wherever the hell they say the nonsense about the nonsense that they speak to incite their followers, what do you think of that?
It's a false misinformation, false information. They are biggest drivers of misinformation, false information. Citrus industry, the industry that we at, it's perceived as the Burra-born industry. Yes, it's a white farmers, it's white community, but it's not a Burra-born. There's inclusivity. We have developing company there which seeks to speak to transformation. We're inclusive. We're there. The misinformation plays the negative role into that. We see things because we're on the ground. We see things happening, and with the testimony of that, and we want to see more black talented guys to join the train, to be with us, sail with us. I think government needs to put a positive notion that this is not a Burra-born. We need to go there. We need to intervene. We need to support this this system, because it's Eastern Cape. It's the second largest citrus producer after the guys.
And probably with the second largest unemployment rate.
Exactly. So we can create more employment. We have fertile communal land that is sitting there, not underutilized. The traditional leaders, government needs to come on board so that we utilize
It's
that.
exactly like you said yesterday on stage. It's like, let's say now you do utilize some of that land. Now the people in the community, they get jealous of you.
Exactly.
But why? You are coming to help the community.
Yeah.
To build a community, to create employment. There are farmers there that were farming citrus, but because of the communal land, the farms were destroyed, and there's nothing that is happening there. We see poverty, but we do have the land and water to utilize. So that's what I can say on my side.
Yeah, so I fully agree with what Coach is saying now, was that I think these politicians are definitely misinforming the world at large. If I take it for myself, if it wasn't for organizations like the Citrus Academy, I would probably not be where I am. And I honestly think and feel that that I should have actually got more guidance from the government, the politicians that are actually making the hoo-ha about the industry. But we're not getting any support from them. It's actually organizations like the Citrus Academy, the CGA, that are helping us to better ourselves and to be in the seats we're currently sitting. And the big narrative just needs to be changed. And that's the duty that myself and Gutle and the other guys that are already in the industry need to try and voice out and not keep quiet about it. I think that when you mentioned this podcast about it, I thought it as a good opportunity for us from our side to actually voice it out and just say, and as people can fully understand that this industry is not just for the white people.
Yes.
Agriculture
Spotting.
is not just for the white people. Yes, the white people are there, and we need to be honest about it, and we need to be blunt about it. But I mean, to take my opportunity, and I'm not just an individual on my own. I mean, there's a lot of other guys in the industry that are already in the industry that have got assistance from white farmers. I mean, and so I just think the politicians need to be honest with themselves. And so, I mean, I think the best way to, if I was a politician, to get votes, I'd support a lot of these young black kids in the university and associate myself with the white farmers and get them internships, organize vacation work and those kind of things. And I think that, in my opinion, would probably get you more votes than anything else. So I think it's a huge misperception which needs to be really changed. I mean, in all the agriculture industries, we need to fully understand that all the agriculture is for everyone, but it's for everyone that wants to be part of it.
Yes.
And you need to add value. So the one thing I like to reiterate is a lot, when you come into an industry, any industry, you must add value. And don't expect people to feel sorry for you. Put hard work and you'll reap the benefits of that.
When you go to, let's say you go on holiday or you travel with your family and you meet new people, and especially our age, young black people, and they ask you, what do you do? And if you tell them, what is their reaction? If, like, I know there's a lot of people they've got zero interest and zero knowledge about the agricultural industry.
Yes.
Yet they eat the food every day and they know that there are farmers out there, but they've got that perception of old Oom Jan with his skaapond on his old Isuzu bakkie in the Karoo. What do they say to you when you say, this is who I am, this is what I do?
They always ask that question, what do you do? I'm an agronomist. What's that? What's an agronomist? What does the agronomist do? Then I start to boast. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I mean, I'm designing pest control programs. I'm doing fertilizer programs. I'm helping farmers. The fruit that you're eating, I'm the one that designed it to be in this quality. Oh, is it? Interesting. Where did you learn that? How are you servicing these people? Are they welcoming you? No, of course they are, because we are servicing more or less about how many citrus farmers that pack with SRCC?
I think it's about 54 at this stage.
54. I think with
and those 54. Are big farmers.
Big farmers. Yeah. So they receive us very well, and we add value to their farm business. Hence we're there. I mean, I've been there more than 4 years now. So we do add value. They see value in us.
I want to just ask you in something like what you said now. So the question that you get from people is, after you've explained what you do, is how are you received? So in other words, people are surprised that you are working with white commercial farmers and that they let you through the door and they give you the time of day.
Yes.
Is that from other black people?
Yes, of course. What do you tell? I mean, an old white successful commercial farmer. I mean, your father is having a small garden here in Fort Beaufort, but you're saying that you advise a white commercial farmer. How's that? Where's the balance in that?
Okay, so
and then when you tell them, no, he invites me for coffee and biscuit.
I mean, we're building relationships. I mean, and sometimes I boast when I get a call. So this is Om's mom, Om Fricky. Look at this. He's phoning me. Yeah. He's in crisis. Then I boast about it. It's quite interesting. And you see people, they're getting thrown to this. They want to know. They want to maybe send their kids to you and tell them about the agriculture. So we see that there are people who are hungry for this, and they people that have appetite, they want to join us. There is potential. I mean, gone those days of appetite. Who are you?
Yeah,
black and white. It's gone. It's gone. I mean, literally.
It's not gone. What it is on the street.
No, it's not. Definitely. No, so I think Dewald, I mean, I'll share the same testimony as Kuhle. I mean, I think definitely when you out in the Transkei, when I go out there and the guys ask, what are you doing here? I mean, and they don't understand what is an agronomist, for example. And I mean, the very same question Kuhle gets is that how's acceptance? I mean, how are you coping? And when I was in the Western Cape, a lot of the people used to not understand, how do I farm amongst all these white farmers? and it was just for me to explain to them and make them understand that I'm not an elite darky. I'm really, it's hard work and it's how I'm approaching this thing, So, and I think a lot of the guys also wanted to come into the industry. They also think that it's only certain cases that people get an opportunity to excel in agriculture. And I think it's actually not that. Yeah? If I look at myself, I didn't get a single favor along the line. I was through hard work, dedication, and just proving myself. And that's what I keep on doing every day.
And that's the same. It doesn't matter of which denomination you are. If you're black, white, colored, Indian, Chinese, is that thing that if you work hard, it might take you a little bit longer, depending on who. And Louise always got a nice expression, is that what you know will get you to the door, and who you know will get you through the door.
Through the door, definitely.
So if build those relationships, go work in harvest season. We were in California 2.5 years ago, and we saw what the packers were earning there. So you see all these burkies going off to go sit on a tractor for 18 hours a day for minimal wage. Yes, they make a good living. They can support their families back home. But you can go to California and you can make a flipping lot of money by working in the fruit industry there.
Sure.
And I came back, I said, listen, if my daughters, I've got 3 daughters, they're 16 years old. December holidays, if we happen to go away, they'll be packing grapes. They're going to be packing grapes before they go. They like it or not. June holidays, if we're not visiting the grandparents, they're going to be in a citrus pack house. And because that is where they're going to learn how to work hard.
True. Yes.
You must learn how to work hard. And
Get your hands dirty.
it is the crappiest thing. You'll come away and you're dirty and you're stinking and you feel shit because it was a long day. But 10 years down the line, you look at all those amazing things
that you learned,
the memories and stuff you got to do and learn, and at that moment it's only not feeling so great. But look back.
I have a question. I think what I've gathered from you is that actually everybody is so nervous to venture into the other side, we know about the apartheid legacy, but things have changed, and actually you have not met with any resistance. You've moved in there, and there's so much fear, as you said, people saying, how are you accepted? How's it going? Do you have a message for youngsters
Yes.
that are like 5 and 10 and 15 years younger than you about entering agriculture?
Let's call it high school students. Let's say that's like 15, 16. They must start doing subject selections and they don't know what they want to be after school, all those kind of things. Is there a message for them?
For them,
but
about agriculture.
In particular, young black
Yeah.
guys and girls.
No, I think the message I have for them it's to firstly understand that agriculture is, once again, it's not just sitting at the back of a tractor and plowing millies. It's a business. There's a lot of business opportunities in agriculture that one can get. There's a lot of employment opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities for entrepreneurship where they can be on their own and run their own business. So for my side is that I want them to understand that the agriculture on its own is no longer the same. It's inclusive. There's an opportunity for growth for anyone that is willing and anyone that would like to be part of it. And I think it's well remunerating, I must say.
It's a very important part.
It's important to say that.
So look versus other industries, And from my side, I think I would really them just choose their subjects well, align themselves with what the curriculums are requiring at university level, and they just need to understand that. You can come out of university with your diploma, but you're gonna have a diploma or degree, but you're gonna have to also grasp. I remember when I moved to SRCC, I just graduated. And I got to the back house and I was wearing a nice jean and or looking for where am I going to go sit. And I got to the episode, no, it was the old Ben, the previous back house manager. He threw me with a work suits and top boots and asked me to go home and I'll come back in 30 minutes. And I looked at myself and damn one. It's just what I came for. Yeah. And then also, I mean, also to understand that, I mean, it was off season. At back house level, they were working maintenance stuff. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm an agriculture guy. Why must I hold the kind in mind? Yeah. But I mean, it's to understand that grafting is like you need to graft and you need to align yourself and the idea is that what you want to achieve from this is it must be your primary goal. So for youngsters, I really think I would like to be an advocate and say to them, there's opportunity for growth and there's chances for them to make it in this industry. There's a lot of communal land out in the Transkei, which they can get the skills from the university and then come get the skills from companies like SRCC and Indigo and these other companies, and then go and take it home where they can develop themselves. So there's a great opportunity for growth from my side.
Thank you, Louise. I mean, when I was in high school, I always wanted these sophisticated jobs. Wearing suit, driving BMW, driving Mercedes-Benz. I never saw myself wearing high-techs and boots and all that stuff. I think it needs to start with us. The young guys who are in the industry now, to try and make it more attractive. We must attract the young guys that are in high school. We must make agriculture attractive. I mean, we're lucky that we're the beneficiary of Citrus Academy. So we're exposed to these things like Summit at the earlier age. Then we're like, no, man, this is not about wearing sticky boots and overalls. There's time for suits. There's time for nice dinners. There's time to mingle with important people. This is it. Agriculture is attractive. I mean, we must push that drive and try to attract more young people in this beautiful agricultural industry. It is there. It's living. We are a living testimony. And my colleague here he says it's well remunerated. Yeah, I think.
I'm so smiled.
I agree with him. You can make a living agriculture as a technical manager, as an entrepreneur, as a farm owner, as there's accountants in agriculture. There's bookkeepers. Many
different types of service providers.
Yes.
I think you guys have done an amazing job of answering our questions, and we really appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Yeah.
Just a last thing is like we've spoken about a lot of stuff, but is there anything else that either of you would like to say? Something you might have on the heart that you want to say?
Firstly, I would like to thank CGA and the CGA Academy for the opportunity that they have granted us from the beginning, since we're young. Thanks to my employer, SRCC, they are the one who qualified me to be seen as a young, inclusive, black talented person. I'm grateful for my employer, and we're led by guys who are the biggest believer in transformation, like Johannes Dewald with his team. They're biggest believer in transformation. We're grateful to have those people along with us. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I want to thank them very much. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think from my side, Dewald, Louise, also thank you guys for the platform. I mean, Kuhle and myself, when we were actually talking about him there on stage, one of the biggest things we wanted to reiterate is that I actually said to him, he must just try and use that platform to tell the guys that, I mean, that this industry is very inclusive. Transformation is possible, but the people will just not come with open hands and think that it's just you've just given a silver platter. It's through hard work, determination, and then you'll actually reap the benefits of that. Yeah. So I just want to thank you guys for the platform that you guys have given us to just say what we've been talking about in the corridors. It was like you were God sent and you actually said you said it when you met me that night. I'm like, yes, this is exactly. I couldn't wait to tell him that. I mean, you actually would like to talk to us about this. I mean, it's a clear message that needs to be sent out there, you know, and it's so good just for us to be able to send it out to the guys, and also just the politicians to understand that. I mean, it's not just about saying anything out in the media. Give the right facts, you know, the stats. We are here to share those things. And yeah, I mean, once again, I'll thank you guys, and I also want to thank SRCC and guys like Abraham van Rooyen at ANB for the opportunities that they're giving youngsters like myself, you know, to try and grow and be a better person. So yeah, bye, come to the lake.
It's a great pleasure. It's been really awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Don't run off.